What up, everybody? This is T-Bone, and this is obviously the platform sports talk show. But hey, look, this isn't just a platform sports talk show. No, no, no. No, 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 no. It can't be that easy. This is the platform Super Show edition. That's right. Here we are. You know, we got some people who's going to be coming on here, and I think we got a gauntlet of people. So instead of hearing me talk, let's go ahead and let's get down to who we have on the show today. Let's see. Let's see. Let's start with ladies first. And well, you know what? Let's go in a different order than we normally do. I saw that this person has a list that's already a mile long. She's ready to talk a bunch of sports. She's your expert's expert when it comes to sports. And you know what? Let's just go ahead and kick it off with Joe, because Joe knows.
What up?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good. It's haven't seen you guys in forever, so it's weird. I feel like we gotta reintroduce ourselves.
I know. People may have found it weird that I'm here, starting this off, but hey, people, it'll
It's
be okay.
different.
It'll be okay. It'll be okay out there. So, Joe, anything you want to say before we bring on, the next person in of the panel of the day?
I'm just excited to talk. I feel like it could be a long show tonight. And it's funny is because the last time I think I was on, we were talking about not sports, and I was like, one of these days we just need to talk about everything. And I feel like tonight might be that night. So I'm excited for it.
Everything seems like it should be the title. If this were a TV sitcom, that would be the title card. Everything. That seems like what
Everything.
today would be. So let's go ahead and bring in the next person of the panel. Well, I gotta say he's your Rams fan out there. He's one of the originators of the show. Someone I've known for well over 20 years. It's crazy. But he is a certified DJ and a real estate investor, and you can't teach that. Let's go ahead and bring in your boy and mine, Sadal the Selector.
Sadal the Selector, the real estate DJ, man. You could bring a hell of an intro, man.
Look, tell me when I'm telling lies.
Hey, can't say that I can't stop you.
So what's been going on, man?
Oh man, I just been living life, man. You know, this DJing thing has been going strong, and now I'm trying to wrap back up my real estate business. So stay tuned for that, man.
Well, we'll let you plug all your upcoming tour dates at some point in the show. You got to plug all your socials and your tour dates and all that type of stuff. But hey, it's not just the three of us. No, 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 no. We got another person out here who I believe, as a matter of fact, I know is the host of Ladies Night. I believe she's logged in and ready to go. She's always doing something and cooking on the show. That's right. We talking about Buddy.
What up?
What up?
Oh my God, they won't let me be great. I just got on and I got babies crying in the background. Happy home day, everyone. What's up? What's up? What's up?
What's going
The
on?
job never ends, Bonnie. It never ends.
Man, we just got back from vacation, y'all. We had a wonderful time in Los Cabos, Mexico. And here we are back to reality just like that.
Now,
That's how
Bunny,
it be.
I got to say, you broke the number one rule of a green screen.
Hey, I got some more rules to break on green screen. Let's
You
go.
you cannot wear green in front of a green screen.
Hey, again, I got more rules to break on green screen. Let's go. Because ask me if I have time to get this fixed. No.
All right. You know what? I know it's the four of us, and normally it's a four-person show, but you know what? I think we got one more person that we could bring in. And if y'all been listening and following along on social media, you saw that over the past few weeks, a few things happened. There were some storms. That happened. There was some big news across the country in different areas, but closer to home, there was a big story. There was a breaking news alert that came out. I believe it was on the 4th of July that there was an injury suffered, and there's been a long road to recovery. For those of you who don't know, The reason why I am doing this is because our leader, our fearless leader, was taken out by a basketball court and has been recovering ever since. He suffered serious injuries to his knee, patella tendon injury, injury I haven't heard since 1990 when Sting hurt his knee, but that's a whole different story. But don't worry, he is toughing it out, and he is here for the show. Please, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the one and only Smoooth.
Try one more time for the people in the back.
I'm over here snapping for him.
You really can't see him.
Yeah, you really can't.
Your time is up, my time is now. You can't see my time is now. It's the franchise where I'm starting now. You can't see my time is now. In case you forgot or fell off, I'm still hot, knocking shell off. My money stacked back, plus I can't turn this well off. The franchise doing big business. I live this, it's automatic. I win this, so you hear those movies finish. A soldier, and I stay under you fighting. Plus I'm storming on these jumps like I'm thunder and lightning. Ain't no way you clicking. I'm hard to nail. Plus I keep it on lock like I'm hard to jail. I'm slaughtering stale competition. I got the whole block wishing they can run with my division, but they gone fishing with no bait. Hit your boy whole way. I got my soul straight. I brush your mouth like Colgate. In any weather, I'm never better. Your boy's so hot.
Your boy is back. What's going on, people? Your boy Smoooth. It's been a rough road, but I'm here. What's going on, y'all? The Platform Sports Talk Show. Your boy Smoooth is here, and I miss my family. What's going on? How y'all doing?
Better than you physically, but hey, I'm glad to see you live in the living color. I'm just saying.
Man, you ain't lying, but it feels so good to be back. My mom even texted me about half an hour ago prior to the show, and she asked me, like, you missed doing the show? And I was like, yes. Like I said, and we're back tonight. And she was like, I'm glad I checked. And I told some of the other people doing the pre-show that, I love being able to, chat and everything like that. But y'all my family, and it just feels good to be able to be back on the airwaves. Y'all know that we are the most consistent sports talk show on.
Uh-oh.
The airways don't want us to be great. As he's talking about us being the most
right.
I'm saying, is it us or him? Oh, okay.
There's the other show right there. But yeah, like I said, man, it just feels good to be back and to see everyone again. And my idea was to do a super show. We may have some more people to tune in or who might join us later on this evening. But truthfully, from the bottom of my heart, love y'all, miss y'all, and it's good to see everyone, back on the show.
Well, I'll tell you what, Smoooth, man, it's good to see you. Glad that you are back on the show, recovering. But man, 4th of July, man, I heard of popping fireworks, but man, why you popping knee ligaments?
Man, so first off, shouts out to my cuz Jesse Jack. He said, "What up, cuzzo? Hope you feeling a little better." Hey, one day at a time. It's these last 2 days have felt much better for me, being able to do some normal stuff around the house, not like cooking, taking trash or stuff like that yet, but just been able to move around and see my kitchen again, and see the front room, and see other parts of the house, to even look outside and see the grass and everything. The small stuff that Sadar, you brought up earlier, the small stuff that you don't even realize, that you don't even see because of certain things that can limit you. So it definitely does feel good, to be feeling a little sense of normalcy. It definitely can humble you. And like you said, Sadar, fireworks was the only thing that was that was popping off on the 4th of July. But it definitely feels good to be able to be alive and find a way to still do this show. And to our favorite fan, Miss Dub, showing love to the crew.
I
we
missed
love you.
up.
It's Dub.
Miss Dubs, I want to know what were you watching the last like 3 Wednesdays? You got
And
tell
Miss
us what you
Dub,
were
let us
watching.
know. Let us know because we know normally from 7 to 9:30 is you locked in, with us. So let us know in the chat. Shouts out to B. Time I said what's happening and the little one and the doggies and everything. But yeah,
I
Miss
know,
Miss
right? We
Dub.
got a little extra background guests around here. Mm-hmm.
Right,
What's your
right.
dog's name,
Look,
Gumbo?
when that's going from behind. Right. They all coming.
I missed
Yeah.
But yeah,
really to say that the absence was not due to Smoooth not paying us correctly, like right, with everybody else.
We're not on a strike like unfortunately what's going on in Hollywood right now. We're not striking. That's not us.
It's not a
Smooth
contract
does
dispute. I got paid, already.
let's see. Miss Dub says that one night she watched Auburn Stevens web concert. Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. But yeah, well, once again, this is your Wednesday night Sports Delight. We're back at it. Of course, stronger, better than ever. May have more people join us later on. At this time, go ahead and share this stream. This probably will be the most relaxed you'll see me on the show. Let me show y'all another view just of what I'm going through. A little behind the scenes of what's going on with my life right now. But as you can see, got the knee brace going. Got to keep my knee straight. Doctor's orders after they did the surgery last Wednesday. They just want to make sure that I don't do anything crazy by keeping my knee straight. This brace has definitely done that. I have on, feel like I'm like 85 years old because I got on these compression socks. Got these on along with at the end. You see it's a thing called a CMP. This helps to prevent blood clots because I had the surgery and everything, and just want to make sure the blood is flowing good on both legs. I got on both legs, both feet. So that's my life right now. You see, I got the crutches. So I've always wondered how it will feel to have crutches, and now I got learn the hard way. But that's what I'm going through right now. But I definitely want to give a huge shout out once again to my sports talk show fam, but to my wife, my SA Dub. Now I can call her my SAN, sexy ass nurse, because she has been everything. Jamie, love you. You've been patient. You've been whether it's 2 a.m, 4 a.m, whatever, anything I needed, you'll jump up. Maybe a little bit like cranky, but but you'll jump up and you'll do what's needed to make sure that I'm good. Taking my pain meds and blood thinner medication, whatever it is I got to do to make sure that I'm on the road to recovery. So to the wifey, thank you so much. Baby girl, love you. You've been such a big support. I know you're not used to seeing your dad not in 100%, not just bouncing around, jumping and having fun and doing. This transition has been crazy for your but I just got fun. I just got part very much to mom who's reached out to me. If I'm breaking up, I apologize. May have a slight connection issue with the issue about that. But the church members, pops, to mother-in-law, to my mom's, family, friends, everyone, I appreciate y'all for reaching out to me, coming to the house, and this is a difficult time for me because normally I'm always on the go, always doing my stuff, trying to make things, but trying to prepare things, trying to get things ready for whatever. So for me to be on the shelf, be it's different, but through God, and as my mom says right here, she leaves a sign. She left some signs around the house. One day at a time, sweet Jesus. So I'm doing one day at a time. and just take my battles one day at a time, every day, and just keep a level head. And we here. So once again, from the bottom of my heart, just thank all y'all, man, for the love.
I just want to know, did Jamie get a video of you coming out? You know, like people get funny videos of you coming out of, with the meds you sleep in or whatever.
So, so when I woke up, I think I woke up first, and then she eventually came into the room and then did take some photos and stuff like that. But I don't think I did anything like silly, like say anything crazy or off the chain. If I did, she'll tell me. I'm sure she would like remind me. But yeah, it was like because when I was in the shouts out to Motion Orthopedic also who did the surgery. Very top notch, very professional, 5-star treatment, everything. And it was like 1 minute I'm in the room looking up, they getting ready to the IV. They're like next second I'm waking up like, oh, surgery over with. That's it. Whatever. I look down and my knee covered up and bandaged up and the whole nine. Like tomorrow I'm able to see for the first time like the actual incision. So I look forward to seeing that to see how bad the incision was. They said that my knee was in pretty bad shape. Some I didn't expect. And usually when I used to play sports, I would always have like a knee brace on my my right knee. And I was so surprised that my left knee actually gave out, But yeah, for what I was
While
told,
you're trying to heal.
yeah. So from what I was told, I wasn't, acting crazy and doing any, crazy jokes or anything like that. But they came in, they did their thing, and just went home. And the first 2 nights, I would say, was difficult because first, like trying to adjust to, they had to do like some blockage on my leg, and so like my whole leg felt numb, and so leaving from the hospital, getting on a truck, having to ride in the back seat of the truck, getting home, it was all good. I'm like, okay, it's fine, I'm good. Then about nighttime came, and all of a sudden you start feeling, a little bit of pain here, and every hour on an hour,
Pain pills wore off, and that's when it started coming at night.
it's like reality set in. Like, okay, I need every pill that that the doctors have made, because I was up every hour on an hour because of just going through the most of having surgery. Real quick, JC Jack says he wants to know who we got for the fight, Spencer Crawford. And, okay, yeah. So talk about that in a minute. This Dub says other 2 nights you watch some serious episodes, i.e. Delia's Catch. Wifey says I got you. And she also says just talking more than usual, but nothing too cray cray. And then he said stop acting like stop acting like I'm in my 20s, because Father Time said, oh no, sit down. And that's funny. That's funny because my mom, when she came over to the house last week, she was like, now in high school, you knew you already had a bad knee. So why are you being 41 years old, it trying to dunk? And so let me give y'all the full story real quick. So y'all know about the Gambler's house, the G house where y'all had the, man cave and ladies night show at. Then they had this huge court, Pittsburgh Steelers on the court.
Mini mansion, man.
Yeah. And you can adjust the hoop and everything. So first it was on 10 feet. And I'm like, man, I want to, let me play around and put it down to 8 feet. So put down to 8 feet. And so, no, 8.5. So I'm doing like I'm dunking, 2-handed, 1-handed. I'm throwing it down, doing this number here. I'm like, okay, I'm feeling myself. And then very last attempt, go up, and I heard the snap. And I was like, oh no. And so I'm laying on the court for a while. And the distance from the court to where the pool is, where everybody else is. Mind you, they had music blasting and everything. So I'm yelling out, babe, and she couldn't hear me at first. I'm like, babe. No one, because I was on the court by myself. Everybody else is at the pool or inside eating, whatever. And I finally just got loud enough, should I say. And even then, she thought I would just call her over just to, whatever. She thought I was like just stretching on the floor, on the ground. And I'm like, babe, I think I broke my knee. And she was like, what? I'm like, yeah, I couldn't move my knee for nothing. Like I tried to move my leg and my leg was not having it. And that's when she started calling up people over to, help me up and sit me on the chair, one chair to be a prop for my leg and everything until the ambulance came. But yeah, that's how it happened. I was trying to live my younger life, and age told me need to talk about sports, not do sports anymore. So
You just had to go for one more. That was it.
It just sounded like you were trying to make up for the NBA Summer League. You was trying to get on the roster last minute. That's what it sounded like. And bam. Like I tell other grown men, if you don't have NBA or MLB insurance, do not go out there doing them tricks, please. Come on,
I was checking out Victor, what's his last name? Wembanyama, and I'm like, let me show you
who your mama. Victor, who your mama?
But Smooth, I've been saying this ever since the beginning of the show, man. I've been saying Father Time is undefeated. And you've seen he's still undefeated.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, ask Adam Lane, right? Because he know that too. As y'all see how he getting beat up this season. Ask stop. Ask what's that NBA? Sorry, y'all.
There's reasons,
but
consider.
Look, she puts the button now, just disappearing off the screen.
But even with that being said, that's why you have to respect what LeBron James is doing, at his age right now. Still top of his game, still flying high after all that mileage. You know what I'm saying? Like I have a whole different aspect, a whole different respect in regards to certain athletes because, what I did, I thought was just nothing. But you got these athletes playing 82 games in the season, in the playoffs, and you still leaping out the gym and doing this and doing that. Like, it's crazy.
Think of Yachty, man. The dude was squatting all the time, losing a nutsack, and his knees hurting, and all kinds of shit. He did. I think Kizzer just lost one on 4th of July too. So you're not the only one that went through an injury front.
Let's see. The wifey says, "Amen, buddy. We all not recommend."
Look, y'all eating with people fireworks. Y'all compete with everybody who's in there for fireworks. So I know it was long, and it's just not supposed to how you supposed to end your night. Fireworks is out in the sky.
Yeah. It was a crazy night. But once again, the wifey, shouts out to you for being everything I need. T-Bone, real quick, for those watching for the first time, let everybody know about where they can find us at.
Well, hey, y'all out there, if y'all ain't subscribed and ain't, hit that like button yet, I mean, look, we got a man down over here and he's still on the show. All right. So, if he can come here with those injuries, y'all can go ahead and hit that like and subscribe. So let's take a look. We can go ahead and just talk about YouTube because that's, we trying to get them subscriptions up. We trying to get that count up, trying to hit that magic 500 number. And we're getting close. We're getting closer. But hey, if you right now go ahead and hit that button, we'll be that much closer. So please go ahead and like and subscribe. And when you do, please make sure that you go ahead and hit that
bell.
That's right.
Ding, 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 ding. Sorry, I left it downstairs.
Look, I was trying to give you as many clues as possible. So that way when we go live, you will be
notified.
That's right. And look, check us out on Facebook, the Platform Sports Talk Show, Twitter at 301 Sports Talk. I believe there's also some new social medias coming out there that we probably need to get on at some point. Instagram at Platform Sports Talk. Also, check us out on Roku. You'll be able to check us out in high definition and see all of our faces up close and everything. And then we also got Hot 365 Radio, where it's always hot out there. Hot 365 Radio. We got the Twitch channel on on twitch.tv/Hot365 Radio. And look, you'll be able to catch all of our shows. And that includes next week coming up, the Man Cave. That's right. You'll be able to catch the full panel of fellas as we go ahead and give you our sports talk takes, and you get to hear all of our opinions and, conflicts and interests and all that type of stuff. So, dog, we always going to go back and forth about them Rams and 49ers. That's just the way that it is. And hey, the week after that, it is Ladies' Night. It was preempted last month, but we already understand the circumstances behind that. But this month we got Ladies' Night, or next month we have Ladies' Night coming right back. The first Wednesday of the month, you got two of the ladies on the panel tonight, Joe and Bunny. Catch all the opinions from the ladies the first Wednesday of every month. Make sure that you hit those likes and subscribe so you'll catch all the shows. And here we are, back to the Platform Super Show.
There it is. So I went over, what I just recently went over my injury. So I do have a question for each panelist. Might be a very serious sore topic for you, but we are about keeping it real, keeping 100. What has been your worst injury that you have suffered? Bunny, has there been an injury? It doesn't have to be sports related, but what's been the worst injury that you may have suffered?
Believe it or not, I actually haven't really had an injury. I mean, if you want to count a paper cut, now the amount of pain
you gave birth to 2 kids, okay? That shit hurts.
I was gonna say that. That's why I said I won't call that an injury, but yes, the amount of pain you're in, I felt that when I had a C-section. That is no joke. And actually, the C-section was 100 times worse than giving birth naturally. So I had both, the natural birth and a C-section. That C-section, OMG. And they had to put me on Percocet for pain. And they had to give me some others. And then at home, it took me over 4 months to recuperate. And I could not do the basic stuff like opening up the stove door. I couldn't even bathe my newborn because it just hurt. All the man, don't let the size fool you. I ain't got that much layer. So all that pain I went through was no punk. Oh God. I still can remember it like yesterday, unfortunately. But of course, I've gotten over that and I decided to give birth again. This time naturally. And it was a whole lot better. But yeah, so Smooth, what you going through? I mean, I can't understand it because I never had a knee, but the pain, that's what I knew when you said at nighttime and start hitting. Oh yeah, I know all about that every few hours. Oh God. Whew. Anyway, but I'm glad you're better though. But I just said I do want to have a couple of jokes. I did one as far as you trying to, get on the NBA Summer League team. And another joke I have for you.
Oh, here we go.
No. I'm gonna keep it clean. So your recovery, the hospital, being in the Braves, your ride or die by your side, help you the whole way. And my thoughts is, now, men always say they strong. Yes, physically, y'all are, but y'all act so weak when y'all down in pain. And like I said, I had to deal with the whole C-section. That's layers of skin and organs and stuff being moved around to bring a baby into this world. And I still recuperated fine, but I know I wasn't probably doing half of what you're doing. I need Jamie to chime in because I just know when y'all men get down, oh God, y'all feel like the world is over with and that you can't do nothing but barely blink your eyes. I'm like,
buddy, they don't even have to break a bone. They just gotta get a little bit of chills from cold and they're down. They're down. You think it's the end of the world. Let me tell you.
So I'm gonna answer for me because I'm not someone who normally gets sick. So if I do get sick, I'll be like, oh my God, like this ain't right. This guy, help me, please.
Dude, Jobo again.
Like, buddy, once a month, they'd never be able to do it. Never.
Man, that's what we go through exactly. Because I'm talking about my cramps. Oh man, and that's once a month, and y'all crying when you get a cold or you get a sniffle. But again, You want to be about that life? Come on. That's why I said I'm hurt. I'm sorry that you did get injured, but the amount of pain, this is temporary. I go through this until I hit menopause. So, bruh, I'm just saying.
All right, hold on, Bunny. We have a response from my wife. So hold on.
Let's
Real
go.
quick.
Let me hear it, Jamie.
Let me get it patched in.
Hi, everybody.
Hey,
He's not a baby
Hey.
at all. At all. No, help me and keep me lifted in prayer. Thank you, guys.
So pray for you more than we pray for Fred.
Yes,
Right.
because as you guys know, Fred likes things to be done a particular way. I'm like, do I have to do this right now at this moment? Probably not. But okay, that's our phrase. Be patient with ourselves and each other. But yeah,
That's
dunking
right. I
over
know
40,
that's
I don't recommend. That's the gist of the story.
Your
That
bones
needs
and
to be a
tendons are
t-shirt now.
fragile.
Dunking over 40.
Dunking over 40 is not recommended. Very
Have a
ghetto.
big
Don't
old
do
circle with an X through it, dunking over 40.
Right.
no,
Everybody in the ER was laughing. They were like, "What happened?" Because I have on a swimsuit. Yes, because I was like, "Oh yeah, my husband was playing basketball and he hurt his knee." And they're like, "How old is he?" 41. Oh man, why you do that? You know. Even the ambulance and the firefighters who came to the Gamble's house, they were more concerned with, oh my God, I can take his place at this party because this house is amazing. So they were more concerned about could they stay versus getting him to the hospital. I literally beat them to the hospital. And so, yeah. So, yeah, he got no sympathy from the hospitals at all. They were like, "Oh, your finger's not blown off or anything like that. You're good. You can go home." But yeah, so I'm glad to see you guys back, and you guys are Fred sitting right now. So this is my free time. So I'm excited.
Yeah,
So
go
keep
do
the
your
show
thing,
going.
Jamie. Go do your
Right.
thing.
Do your thing, Jamie.
Relax.
Do your thing, honey. Go have a adult beverage if you need to, real quickly. Please enjoy yourself.
Right. Thanks. There you go.
Yeah.
Wifey had to make an appearance. Y'all know it's a big show.
But now she was at the ER with a swimsuit on because she was coming from the party. Oh my gosh.
She had the swimsuit on.
Fred.
She had like one of those see-through, tops, to cover up, with her jeans on. So, it wasn't like she came from a Uncle Luke concert or anything, but still.
No, but just in case when you go to the bathroom, that's all we thinking. That's why I don't like rompers. When I go to the bathroom, I take all this stuff off.
Right. Sadal, man, how about yourself, man?
By the grace of God, I never had any broken bones or major injuries, but ever since I started to play sports as a kid, even as a young kid, I just kept on rolling my ankles. Like I have high ankle sprains and just ankle injuries, just kept rolling them to the point where as an adult, when I started to play intramural softball, I had to wear those little ankle braces, that they have, like the little Velcro joints. And it's just I don't know, man. It's just I try to be mindful of it, but then it's just like boom, it just weak ankles, man. And it was the running joke when I used to play, pick up basketball. He's like, hey, I heard of broken ankles. Hey, this Mr. Broken Ankle right here. So man, it was rough, man. It was just like it was more of an annoyance than anything, but no major injuries or anything like that. I did have pneumonia twice as a kid. Like twice, like once at 7, once at 12, and I was bedridden both times. But that was about it. I really don't have any wild stories.
How you get
Yeah.
pneumonia twice though?
Twice,
Like that ain't like
man.
COVID or
I had it
flu.
once.
That's pneumonia.
Well, you know,
Ooh.
it's not like you know. I don't know if these Generation Y kids can relate, but you know, us generation, you know, us
We are
our
generation. What are
generation.
you talking about?
I'm sorry, Z. We're I don't know what generation we are, but
It's all
we're the
confusing.
generation. I tell you what,
Oh,
we're the
yeah.
generation of like
We
staying
just heard-
outside. I always
Look,
stayed
we just
outside.
heard so we don't
playing.
get fined. I got it.
Yeah,
Right.
we stayed outside. We stayed outside to play. Rain, sleet, snow, and they had to drag me in the house. And I'd be outside. It'd be cold. I'd be outside playing, you know, sports, doing something.
And you
And
went
get
right
sick.
into the AC, didn't you?
Huh?
They said you went right into the AC, didn't you?
And right into the AC.
That's
Yep.
what you did.
And I remember like the first time I got pneumonia, the OJ Simpson trial was going on.
Oh Lord.
And I'm
Oh,
sitting there
wow.
dying. I couldn't breathe. And my mom was like, "Oh, look at this. It's OJ. It's OJ Simpson." I'm like, I don't give a damn OJ.
I'm trying to breathe.
Dying.
Hell to the no.
Oh man.
Not the OJ. Oh man. Miss Dub said earlier that was the reaction that she got when she broke her capella. Compared to everything else going on at Bourne's ER that night, my shoulder was small potatoes.
Mm.
All right, Joe Bo, I know that you were all world catcher back in your days. I'm sure you may have suffered some type of injury during your softball years or whatever prior. About yourself?
Yeah, so kind of like it all. I've had plenty of high ankle sprains. Those things aren't no joke because I don't think that ever goes away. Like my ankle hurts today. Let's see. I broke my finger playing. A softball coach recommended me to be a goalie for our high school soccer team. I didn't want to, but I was like, whatever. I gave it a shot, and I broke my finger right at my knuckle against Hillsborough, and I had to miss some softball games. So I was very upset about that because I could give two bleeps about soccer at that time. So that sucked. I've had concussions, and oh my gosh, I forgot about my last one. I don't even know. But oh no, I remember it was when we were playing beer league softball. This lady, I always played third base, and she would pull the ball every single time, and the ball came up, nailed me in the chin, and it looked like I had the crown for the Bud Select can in my on my chin for quite some time. That she messed me up pretty good. But no, I mean, I think the broken finger is probably my worst one. And it just made it worse that I had to miss softball games. But yeah, plenty of like my knees hurt today because I, squatting all the damn time. And yeah, they don't really care about that stuff in the hospital because obviously there's like, heart attacks and stuff going on. So, but yeah, I mean, that's about it.
And T-Bone, we know that you are a professional wrestler, so I know you probably endured some things during your time.
Well, I mean, I'll give an honorable mention to the surgery that I had to have with Crohn's, but that's not really an injury, more so than reparative stuff. But yeah, that did put me down for a month though. But as far as injuries go, I mean, my worst injury isn't really that bad. I mean, I ruptured my bursa sac once.
I don't even know what that is.
Ain't that bad? Like what?
Well, it wasn't. I mean, okay, so the bursa sac is the thing in your elbow here. So, one day I had a match, and the next day it was Sunday, and we were watching football, and I just remember I, set my arm down on the couch, and I was like, "Huh, what's this egg-shaped, thing here on my elbow?" Because I didn't feel it. Like, I didn't know anything happened. It's not an injury that you actually feel. And then went to the doctor, to the the orthopedist or whatever you call it, and he was like, "Oh yeah, it's either you you bruised it or you ruptured it." So he had to go in there and see, and he had to drain it, and it was definitely ruptured because it was blood coming out, and so he drained it, and he's like, "It shouldn't hurt at all." And remember, I hadn't felt the injury at all. He was like, "The only thing that you would feel is if I hit a nerve," and he hit a nerve. That hurt.
Oh God.
It only lasted for a few seconds. Yeah. That was my reaction in real time. Yes. Yeah. So, yeah, that was my worst injury. I mean, everything else was, just comes with the territory. Nothing. Just there's a difference between being injured and being hurt.
Right. Yeah. So we've all gone through some stuff, man, and we are here to tell our story. So that's the best thing about it. But we are a sports talk show, and I know we got a whole lot to catch up on. So Bunny, you already know what it is. What sports story or stories has your attention?
Recently, or since we've been on a hiatus while you recovering?
Both.
Okay. So if I could do a quick synopsis, 4th of July, everything went pew 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 in our world. We got to go into the following weekend with the All-Star break and got to see the Home Run Derby, the HBCU Swingman Classic. That's inaugural as well. Just throwing this all out there, y'all. No particular order. What else? NBA free agency. SC Club. So many options. Pick one, anyone, right? Of course, the Cardinals are still losing, even though they're on a 3-game winning streak.
5-game now, ain't it?
Whoa. Yeah, we have 5. Hey, we're only 10 games under 5.
I got my brain got fried a little bit when I was on vacation, so I'm off 2 games. My bad. So 5-game winning streak, and then we have SEC Media Day happened, or it is happening this week, specifically with football. We got this. All right. So to answer your question, what has my attention? Few things there, but we can pinpoint one. I'll leave the Redbirds for Jobo and all this trade talk. I'll talk about SEC Media Day. Why not, right? So, if y'all know, SEC is currently at 12 teams. They're part of Power 5, specifically in the football conference world. And the Media Day, they have, of course, the different coaches talking. Mizzou's on Eli Drinkowitz. He was caught doing a political move. They wanted him to speak on something, and he ended up doing a filibuster. I was laughing at that. I'm like, why are you doing literally a political tactic when you're asking about football? But whatever. But also they're talking about SEC Media Day. This is the last season of having 12 teams. Next year we'll have 14 teams, scheduling, all that good stuff. So they have my attention just seeing what's going on in the SEC world in football, because I am biased, but I do think SEC football is number 1 out of the Power 5 conferences.
It is.
Oh, okay. I mean, I didn't want to see bias and all, because I do like to watch Mizzou and see how the St. Louis and people from the East Side doing when they, go up there. But yeah, so that had my attention.
T-Bone.
I'm trying to think of when the story broke, but the Northwestern scandal that happened.
Oh man, that's a whole mess right there.
Man. Wow.
Yeah.
Like, went over with. That's just y'all. We just at the beginning on that one.
Yeah, and besides obviously everything that's happened with it, the thing that caught my attention more is like, why aren't more schools like you would think that by now there'd be better investigations that would happen to where you're not catching stuff that's happened over years and years. Like, who's auditing these sports teams and the programs? Like that needs to be a thing. Like that's, it just seems like when it comes to sports programs, like we like to get the money in real time, worry about the consequences later. It's almost like they're corporations.
And for those who may not be familiar, T-Bone, can you further elaborate in regards to what's going on at Northwestern?
I mean, it'd be better to say what's not going on against Northwestern.
That's not funny, but it is because it is a lot.
I mean,
at this point, they're gonna have RICO charges. They're gonna have damn near people getting thrown under the jail, probation. It's a lot.
It's a lot of allegations. There's a lot of there's hazing. There's sexual allegations, physical allegations. There's the coach is gone. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Lawsuits.
Well, lawsuits gonna come, and hopefully in 4 years I'll be involved to get me a piece of that
settlement.
T-Bone Esquire at your service.
And while you at it, find them a head coach. Find them a head coach too while you're at it, because they ain't got that since all this just broke out. And training camp starts in what, 3 weeks?
I don't.
Something like that. Mm-hmm.
Will they even have a program next year? Not this year, but next year. Whenever there's more investigations and stuff comes out, they may be down for.
Hey, you know how to say where there's smoke, there's fire. This time there's fire, and then there's going to be a Canadian wildfire. I'm just saying.
Dang.
Well, yeah.
Jobo.
Shoot, I mean, I feel like we could do a whole 2-3 hours on the St. Louis Cardinals and just baseball in general. But yeah, that's what's been on my mind for the last couple of weeks. Good and bad, promising. Like, I don't even know how far you want me to go into it with just you got my attention, because like I said, I got so much stuff written down with this.
Well, yeah, but the baseball, we could say that for later. So there's any outside of the baseball. Like for instance, what are your thoughts on the All-Star game and the home run derby? I thought that both were entertaining.
Yeah, I thought they were really good. It's not a hot take because everyone agrees. We need to do the jerseys they wear at the All-Star break for the derby like they used to back in the day, and they just need to wear their team's jersey during the All-Star game.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the world agrees with that. I don't know. I thought the NL jerseys, like how it was set up, was atrocious. It was disgusting, not in a good way. Like black pants with this black and teal looking green mixed. It looked awful. Okay, these guys look stupid on the field. But no, like the Derby was fun. The All-Star game, the NL finally won for the first time since I was in high school, so that was pretty cool. And it was, Elias Diaz, the catcher for the Colorado Rockies, is the one that won the MVP and put the NL ahead. So that was fun. I always love that time of year, just drinking some beers and watching the game and the Derby. It's just fun, and now it doesn't mean anything, so I don't got to stress out about it.
Got you. Sadal?
Well, for me, this is sports adjacent, but it has a lot to do with sports. The ESPN firings or releases.
Playoffs. Yeah.
And it was, and really what they mean for the landscape of sports media. And it has a lot to do with this very show. What is really showing is or exposing is a lot of attention is not going to ESPN and watching their shows or just any shows on cable. It's the personalities. It's the Pat McAfee shows of the world who started on YouTube and built a following and now getting $1 million deal as at the same time you have a number of big name personalities being let go. And it's just really telling of what people are paying attention to in the sports landscape. And so what I see and what others have seen is an uptick on personal brands. You know, you build a personal brand, you have, say, a talk show for about 6 years, and it grows over the coming years and months, and then you build a following, and it just blows up. And it's just having those eyes and having that audience, having that devout following like Miss Dub and others. And just imagine if you can get thousands of Miss Dubs viewing this show. The possibilities are endless, you know, and it's very good. It is and opens up a lot of interesting takes, a lot of entertaining pieces of programming that you're not going to find on channels like ESPN because people are really not checking for it. There's a niche for every sports fan out here on YouTube and other places. And I think it's a huge opportunity just for shows like this one that can go out, make a name for themselves, find their niche, find their following, and blow up, man.
And I do want to bring this up because word is that Shannon Sharp may be joining ESPN very soon and could be alongside Stephen A. Smith on doing First Take and doing a lot of like NFL stuff as well. So that news could be coming out very soon about Shannon Sharp joining ESPN. And you know what he's already doing with
that Max is supposed to be.
Say it again, buddy.
Did you hear also that maybe it's a high possibility Max Kellerman is going to go to the show where Skip Bayless is? Basically, Shannon Sharp and Max kind of switching.
I doubt that.
Nah.
They gonna want someone who has more, who's a former athlete probably, but who also has more gift to gab, kind of like what Shannon Sharp brought to the team.
And I mean,
I heard Richard Sherman rumors about that show being alongside Skip Bayless.
Yeah,
that'd be interesting.
The thing that would work against Max is that Stephen A. didn't want to do First Take with Max because of what Smoooth just said, is that he just didn't feel like he brought it to the show. So that's how he wound up getting off of First Take and going, you know, to that show that they just had, the what was it, Max and Keyshawn and whatever that show was. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I'm not disagreeing with you, Sadal, as far as like the brands being a thing, but brands have always been a thing. This case was more of, I mean, you know, I was there around the time when they first started announcing the layoffs, but this is just more of a, we got Disney as a company has quarterly goals that they're trying to meet. For Disney, their fiscal year ends October or September 30th. So they're trying to basically cut money off the book so that they can make their Q4 look good. And, you know, television contracts are a good way to do that. And you can also see like the televisions, or well, not just television, the actors and writers strike is basically also bringing attention to, you know, how executives, including Iger, are trying to, you know, squeeze the talent out of things. And, you know, yeah, it's good to be a brand, but when it comes down to it, the company's going to look at dollars and cents and figure out ways to get that money. And it doesn't matter if it increases or decreases quality, as long as it decreases money on the books.
I think you're absolutely correct there. But I think it's a both and, you know. Yeah, they cut a lot. They're cutting a lot of fat, you know, as far as their budget, but they're also signing, and look who they're signing. They signed someone who has cut their teeth independently on YouTube, built a following, and brings eyes to whatever he's doing, and that's Pat McAfee. and he
Right,
just
but-
signed into a big deal.
Well, but wait, when you look at the McAfee deal, you do know that he's making less money going to ESPN than he was with what he was doing before, right?
Yeah, a year. He's making more less than a year, but it's over 5 years.
Yeah, but he's making less per year. McAfee is doing what you're saying. McAfee is going to ESPN, and it kind of contradicts what you're saying. McAfee's going to ESPN because the eyeballs will be there for him, which will make his brand bigger, right? That's why he wants to go there, so he can capitalize on being on ESPN and seeing there. It explains why he also does stuff with WWE. He can have eyeballs seen there. You know, he's trying to get out there and get wherever he can. So that's why he would take less money to go to ESPN.
I don't think he's taking less money though.
Huh?
I don't think it's less. It's not less money. It's more money.
It's like 85 million. I think he's making more than that with the deal that he has now.
No, the deal he had before with FanDuel was 105 mil total, but now he's making 85 a year over 5 years.
Okay. I thought I was under the impression that he was taking less to come there.
No, it's more. It's more.
Hey, more or less. Let me get that.
Well, it's 85 million over 5 years.
Right.
So that's 85 million spread out of over 5 years.
Over 5 years? Nah, that's everybody that I've seen, all the reports.
According to the New York Post, McAfee will make around 85 million over 5 years. Indy Star, Pat McAfee, 85 million with ESPN report. So yeah, it's over 5 years. Right now he makes 120. He has a 4-year deal with FanDuel that gives him 120. So I can't do the quick math off the top of my head, but it's probably somewhere around the same, basically.
Yeah. Well, really, I think the brand the branding point is still, I still have that stance, as far as where people's attention is going. Is people are not buying cable packages. They're not buying cable packages as they used to. A lot of people have been cut the cord a long time ago.
Yeah, but
so they're losing subscriptions left and right. And so, and it's like you said, they have to cut. They got to cut their losses. They got to look at the bottom line. You don't have a lot of people subscribing, so they got to cut.
Yeah, but their business is not just one of the good things about Disney is that they are so diversified. So it's not just the cable packages, it's ESPN Plus. Like a lot of those shows that you could get on ESPN, you could get on ESPN Plus as well. You got the YouTube content that they have out there just like everybody else. Like they're diversified enough. The only thing that they pretty much gave up on is pretty much radio. But I think that's where McAfee is coming in with that. I think his show is going to be on the radio as well. I'm not 100% sure, but
and on YouTube.
Yeah, so they're covering all those grounds. They're using each other in the way that you're talking about. But yeah, so it's not even necessarily about the talent. This was more them cutting money off their books. It didn't matter who the talent was going to be.
So in regards to what has my attention, I know Miss Dub gonna love this, but shouts out to the ladies of the WNBA. They just recently had their All-Star break, and they had an amazing All-Star Friday and Saturday. Shouts out definitely to the future of WNBA, Sabrina Ionescu. She is someone that before Kobe Bryant passed away, like she followed Kobe tremendously. I mean, she studied Kobe. She was like what they want to call her, like the white mamba, pretty much. But she's coming to the league, and this past weekend, she was in a three-point competition, and she has broken a record that even Steph Curry has not done. She did so amazing that she surpassed the previous NBA record of 31 points in a 3-point competition when she scored 37 out of a possible 40 points, hitting 25 out of 27 possible shots during a 3-point competition. That means that throughout 5 racks with 5 balls, along with 2 additional spots with 1 ball each, she only missed a total of 2 shots. And when I say I was amazed, I was like, wow, she was on fire. And definitely was letting everyone know that she is that girl. So shouts out to her. Once again, the ladies of the WNBA, there's been a bigger buzz going into the season for them. And I know Miss Dub has been pushing for us to talk about them more, so I'm giving them the respect that they deserve right now. I know my mom watches the WNBA as well, but the Las Vegas Aces, they are playing amazing. They are the reigning defending champions. I have a feeling that maybe not this year, well, not during this season, but maybe next year, um, the head coach for the Las Vegas Aces, Becky Hammond, may be getting the NBA job soon. Like that's how great of a coach that she is. And Miss Dub says I've been enjoying watching the games. She's saying woohoo, the Aces are killing it. Before I continue, Bunny, know that you got to go ahead and roll out. So thank you for your time and being part of the show. And you have a wonderful rest of your evening, Bunny.
All right, good seeing everyone. And of course, not next week, but the week after, ladies' night. I will see you there, Jobo.
Yes, and Bunny, don't forget new Bluey episodes came out, so watch those.
On Disney Plus.
Even I knew about that.
That's why I did not. But hey,
it's still season 3. Yeah, it's like episode 28 to 38 or something like that, but still on season 3. But new episodes are good, so go check them out.
Will do, because I put on season 2 today for them and walked away. I didn't even pay attention. Thank you all, appreciate it. Good night.
You spoiled.
Bye, Bunny.
All right, have a good one, Bunny. See you in 2 weeks for ladies. And we will have that special guest that had to be postponed until 2 weeks. So stay tuned for that.
Can I say something about this this WNBA All-Star? I'm tired of these grown-ass men on Twitter saying that this girl isn't awesome for doing this. That's all I'm seeing on Twitter about it is yeah, like come on. Like you're telling me right now you go out there and do that? That's annoying. Like I don't know. That's one thing that's never gonna go away in the world. There's a lot of things that won't go away in the world, but that is one of them. That guys just think they're superior and better than women at everything, and that just annoyed me. Like
yeah, that's odd because a thing like shooting pound for pound, whoever is doing it, shooting is shooting the basketball. Is shooting the basketball.
Exactly.
You know, as far as distance, you know, you can make that, but shooting is shooting. You know,
right.
Men and women can do it, and that's undeniable what she did in that contest. I haven't seen the contest. It makes me want to go and see it now.
Yeah, I'm telling you, go on YouTube and just put it in, dude. It was amazing what she did to have 5 racks of 5 balls, and then have 2 additional spots where you had 1 ball, and I think that 1 ball was like 3 points, but out of all those racks and all them balls, she only missed 2 shots. That was incredible. Steph Curry even tweeted like that was amazing because that has not been done. So shouts out to her.
To put it in baseball terms, did you guys watch Mookie Betts try to hit a home run in the home run derby?
Oh man, he struggled.
It was bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't understand. You know, it's shooting or just BP pretty much. And you got all these guys on Twitter just bashing her, saying like she's not important or cool. So that's never going to change, but whatever. I like to see her up against some of those guys on Twitter.
They're the lame ones, so you know.
Yeah.
Exactly. But just to continue on, once again, shouts out to the Las Vegas Aces. I think Beckham is going to be a head coach in the NBA very, very soon. Uh, that team is loaded. They'll be ready for next year. I'm sorry, for the postseason. Miss Dub says what impresses her is in the WNBA is their free throw percentage, in which we had this conversation a while back, Joe, and I know y'all had this conversation during the previous ladies' night, but because the chances of ladies not dunking as much as men, it makes their skill set that much better because they have to do much more to score. And so that's where the appreciation it is for me goes for the ladies because the ladies have to do more. And I'm sure y'all heard this in so many different areas, whether it's at a job or whatever it is, y'all have had to done more to succeed. And that's what's going on right now in basketball is that because of the lack of dunking, you have to do more, show more skill set to go to the hole, show more skill set to penetrate and to make jumpers and do this and do that. So my hats off to the ladies. And remember,
I was just gonna say that makes sense. I mean, if you think about boys from a young age, you know, not to talk about you here, Smooth. We're not talking about you, but when we talk about kids at a young age, they'll lower that hoop down. Why?
What?
Why do they do it? Why do they do it? So that they can dunk, and then they'll keep as they get older and older. Because once you learn, oh, I can jump up to the hoop, you become distracted with that type of thing, and you'll have more guys who are going to go out there and be more interested in dunking than shooting. That's the time that they spend on trying to do stuff that in the grand scheme of things is like once you know how to do it, you can do it. But like shooting is one of those things that you can practice on that as much as you want and you'll still improve on it. Like you're not really going to improve on a dunk. Like if you can put the ball in the hole, you can put it in there. Like shooting, whole different thing. So I think that's why like guys will focus on stuff like that, and women, if you can't dunk, then you get to put your skills to doing the other things out there, other fundamentals.
Yeah, I know.
And
younger.
I'm sorry. Oh, so real quick, something I want to bring up. Remember last year, Joe? I think it was on Ladies' Night, but y'all had the conversation about the WNBA's All-Star Game MVP trophy and how small it was. Recall this?
Yeah, here I got I got it right here. It's Mia's. I have Mia's little play pot for her kitchen. That's pretty much equivalent to what you're seeing on the screen right now.
Well, thank God that they listened because this year is now this.
There we go.
All right. There we are. There we are.
So that's a huge step, and looks like behind the scenes they're also working on women not having to deal with so many what they call them chartered flights and have more private flights, because you think about what's going on with Brittany Griner in her situation, which we're glad that she's back. You just seeing your screen right now, but having to have professional women go through normal security and normal going to domestic flights like they're going on, Southwest Airlines and, stuff like that, while they're still dealing with general public, while NBA players are getting private planes and going to secret spots in airports. And, what I'm saying, that they're much more ease. Like when would you ever see LeBron James on the Southwest or United Airline flight along with other people?
1998.
Yeah. And even then.
So it's like they're slowly, trying to make things better for women, which it shouldn't have taken as long, but they're slowly making things better for the ladies. And Miss Dub says that's more like it. So, I just wanted to highlight the ladies. Shouts out to them. Also, there is a new. So we know that in college basketball for the men, how you have the big dance, the 64 teams, the whole nine, and then for those teams who don't get in, you have like the NIT. But for the women, they just had the big dance, and that was it. Well, the NCAA announced that they are creating another women's college basketball tournament that will operate as a second option for 32 teams that do not make the NCAA tournament. So it's pretty much like a women's basketball NIT. So I think that's awesome as well for women to get even more exposure, more opportunities as well to still ball out if you don't make the big dance. So shouts out to them as well. So
Okay, I have a question about that
yeah.
because normally when we talk about sports, like when we're talking about football and they're adding like extra teams to the tournaments, it's always kind of seen as the reason they're doing that is because they're going to make money off of it. So is that not the same thing seen here? That the reason that they're doing this tournament is because we can make more money by having more people come to this stadium and possibly get some streaming service to buy some rights to this game as well?
Man, you already know everything is always predicated on trying to find ways to make more money.
No, T-Bone, it's about inclusion. I want to give them a fair shot.
Right, but would we make I guess here's the thing that I'm trying to get at is, do we make the argument that, well, hey, they're doing this, but these women should be getting paid by the schools to participate in these games? Or are we looking at this and saying, thank goodness that they're giving those women more opportunity? Which one is it?
Hush up, T-Bone. It's about opportunity.
Miss Dub may have an answer very soon for that, but she does have a question. She asks, why are the quarters shorter in the WNBA? Why does the team that shoots a tech foul shot not retain the ball? So I mean, there are different rules in both the WNBA and in women's college basketball, because in men's basketball you have two 20-minute halves. In women's college basketball, I think you have four quarters, 10-minute or 12-minute quarters. I thought, well, mostly it's 10. So I can't answer exactly why it's like that in regards to why there's a team that shoot a tech foul shot not retain the ball. You would think that if a team like an NBA, if you get a tech called on let's say the Warriors playing the Lakers, and Draymond Green fouled LeBron James and LeBron got a tech, Lakers get the ball back normally after that tech because you get the ball back. But I guess what she's saying is in the WNBA, you get a tech foul shot, but then the other team get the ball back. So that's kind of backwards right there. And that's something that needs to, once again, just like we talk about with the whole, flying commercial and charter and the whole nine, there's still things that need to be worked on to make things make more sense. So hopefully they get that worked out.
I wish I can get my cousin on this show, at least on Ladies Night. She can really speak to this. She's retired pro basketball player and Olympian. She can really speak on this. Man, it's just hard to, I don't know if she wants to get on camera, but
we can
see.
put a picture up.
Huh?
I said we could just put a picture up,
right?
And then she could just talk, me her voice.
Now that we recently have been enjoying, the XFL here in the Lou had a successful season. Of course, we came a little bit short, but there has been a recent announcement, and I look forward to your response in regards to this, Sadal. But there is going to be a arena league, and one of the teams that's included is St. Louis. So as you see, we have Boise, California, Oregon, Washington, another league, another division, Austin, Colorado, St. Louis, West Texas. Then you got Chicago, Ohio, Minnesota, Philadelphia, Then lastly, you have Louisiana, Orlando, Tallahassee, Tennessee. There has not been no mention. I haven't seen anything yet in regards to where the home games will be played, what the team names will be. But Arena Football League is coming to St. Louis with the success that we've had with the Battlehawks, with the success we've seen with St. Louis CDSC. How do you feel about this announcement that we're going to have a Arena Football League team here in St. Louis?
Let me know when season tickets go on sale because I'm buying them and I will be supporting just like everybody else here in St. Louis.
And that's why St. Louis is getting a team because of people like you. I mean, seeing what the Battlehawks did, that's 100% the reason why they're getting a team. And I know they're talking about it on 101 the other day. Jamie Rivers doesn't seem like it's gonna do good, but I mean, you put a sports team in St. Louis, they're most likely going to be fans that show up, and they're going to give them all their money.
I never had a chance. I never had a chance to say this, but I recently had a chance to go to a soccer game, and man, it was an awesome experience. Sold out crowd. I've never been to a soccer game before, ever.
Who played?
Houston. They played Houston. Mm-hmm.
And it was CDSC?
Yeah, St. Louis CDSC.
Okay.
And they had the flags and stuff. They had like this whole section of, people doing the, flags, STL. And my first game, I saw a fight actually on the field. They kicked the guy out. They gave him the red card, and then they let him back in. And then what made it so bad was the guy that they kicked out looked like a teammate because he had his big natural fro, and his other teammate had an actual fro. So anytime any one of them had the ball, they were booing him, despite whoever it was. It was like, that ain't even the dude. But and St. Louis won. I think it was 3-1. No, 3-0. 3-0.
Okay. Yep. Speaking that soccer lingo. 3-0. Okay.
Mill.
I'm learning.
It was a match. It was a match, not a game. It was a match.
After that first game, I'm like, you know what? I can really follow this sport. I really can follow. So I've been trying, learning the rules and stuff, and I like it. I enjoy myself. Thoroughly enjoy myself.
Miss Dub says she'd like to go to a STL City game, but it seems like they are all sold out. It does appear that way when you look at major market websites, but if you go to those third site ones,
go to SeatGeek. They're not sponsored us yet.
Or
go to
SeatGeek.
Or whatever the one ESPN has on there. I can't remember. Can you put that graphic up for the Arena Football League again? Because just a little pet peeve. Here.
Here we go.
Okay. Let's go through these locations real quick. Boise, Austin, Chicago, Louisiana. What's wrong with just those four right there? Which one of those doesn't belong?
Chicago.
Boise.
All right, let me rephrase that. Which one of these is not like the other? Boise, Austin, Chicago, Louisiana. Which one of these is not like the other?
I'm assuming you're getting at Boise.
No.
Louisiana.
Okay.
Louisiana.
Because 3 of these are cities, and 1 of these is a state.
Oh.
California, Colorado, Ohio, Orlando. 1 of these is not like the other. Why do they do this? Oregon, St. Louis, Minnesota, Tallahassee. Again, 3 cities, 1 state. They went 3 cities, 1 state. 1 state, 3 or what is it? 3 states, 1 city. 3 cities, 1 state. Washington, West Texas, Philadelphia, Tennessee. 2 cities, 2 states. If I'm living in Tennessee, I'm probably like, hey, where are we going? Knoxville, Memphis, Nashville, it's a big state. We can single out West Texas. I guess that's good enough. They're going to tell us half the state, not even the city. But then you got Louisiana. What are we talking about? Where we going to New Orleans? Or are we going to Baton Rouge? What are we doing?
Good song.
Well, man, hey,
T-Bone,
like Mr.
T-Bone,
said,
I missed
like
what
said earlier.
I missed what you were saying. You had me at St. Louis, so I don't know whatever you said. I'm sorry, I missed it, but I just said St. Louis got a team, you know.
Right. And then, like what I said before, they haven't announced, where and exactly where they could be playing at the whole nine. So I'm pretty sure it'll get mapped out. Yeah.
Not a good start to the press release.
Let me know when the tickets sell.
And also, so I know this is right up your alley, Sadal. There's been a lot of complaining from NFL running backs that they're being underappreciated and undervalued now. Do they have a point, or is it because of their NFL lifetime length that is warranted how they're being treated now? Because you got guys like Najee Harris, Christian McCaffrey, Jonathan Taylor, Austin Eckler complaining. Even the great like Derrick Henry, they're complaining about it. Saquon might sit out a whole year because they find the R&B, the running back market is getting slighted. Do they have a reason to argue about that?
No, because the game has changed. The game has changed. It's no longer three yards in a cloud of dust type of offenses. It's not the 80s and 90s when you started out with 2 runs on first and second down. I hate to say this, but it started right at the late 90s, early 2000s with the Rams. It's just over time, the game and in particular the offenses has become a passing league. It's become passing first. Nowadays you have offenses like the 99 Rams do on like most of NFL offenses. And so the focus is not on the running back as much. You've seen it in the draft. You used to have first overall picks used to be running backs. Now you rarely see that anymore. It's just the schemes have changed. The way football is played has changed. It's just in any other position. The linebackers used to be a focus. Now it's really not. It's pass rush and defensive backs. Why? Because it's a passing league. The linebackers was the focus because at one point running was the focus. It's just the game has just changed. They're talented players, but you need to take that up with your offensive coordinators.
Yeah, like you said, the game has done changed, and I know Sadal. Oh, wait a minute, T-Bone.
Oh, here we go.
I thought you might say that, Sadal. They said the same thing about somewhere between 15 and 20 years ago. This was a whole discussion back then. I don't know if you recall this, but the running backs were feeling downgraded back then. And then all of a sudden you got guys like Ezekiel Elliott come through. There was a guy, you might know him, Steven Jackson. Like those guys, when those guys came through, your Frank Gores, all those type guys, those guys were getting used. I can't remember the few Chiefs running backs. There's been a few, but you know what I mean? Like Jamal Charles. But, this was a thing 15, 20 years ago where they were saying it's a passing league. We don't need those running backs the same way that we used to. They're just not the same. And then all of a sudden, those guys started becoming prime real estate again. So I feel like this is just phases that the NFL goes in and out of where, yeah, they'll put a lot of focus on passing, But all it takes is for one team, after everybody's kind of adapted that mentality, to kind of go back and say, okay, well, we're gonna use our running backs, and we're gonna get a great running back, and that's gonna do that, and that's gonna start the trend to go towards getting those all-star running backs again.
But look at this. You had at one point Dan Marino held, I believe it was the all-time NFL passing yards record. He held it for like 30 years, 35 years. And then it was broken 3 other times, I believe.
By who?
Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, and the other player I ain't gonna name.
And when was the time period where they were doing that? 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah, but it was just broken in the last 5 to 7 years.
But that's from accumulation. Like all that started in that time period that we're talking about, where Peyton Manning, you remember, he started in what, 98, was it? So
yeah, 98.
The way that he was passing and stuff like that, those prime years were in the early to mid 2000s.
But
so,
check out the average rushing yards leaders. Look at the rushing yards leaders over the past 5 years.
Oh, I'm not doubting what you're saying. What I'm saying is, yeah, there's a trend where they're doing that. But what I'm saying is that's the trend right now. And in a few years, you'll have a team select a top running back, and they're going to use that running back effectively. And then other teams will follow suit, because that's the way.
Yeah. And what I'm saying is those are exceptional players that are very, very good. I'm talking about the overall focus of the offenses. That's what I'm referring to. You know, you do have those players. You can't deny talent. They're gonna do well. But I'm saying, like, overall, the focus is right now a passing league, and even the rules have changed around that in favor of wide receivers and quarterbacks. And I think,
you know what,
you're not going to see all running backs rack up, yardage like they used to back in the day.
Sadal, this conversation and what you're talking about right now, remember how a couple years ago they were saying you're seeing the decline of the big man in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
Remember how there was an error because of what Steph Curry and the Warriors were doing for that certain time, that it was like guys like Dwight Howard was getting obsolete, other big guys who didn't have, outside game, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But now you're slowly seeing big men like Joel, and even though they can shoot outside as well, but they're more of a presence inside him. Jokic, other big men are starting to make a comeback, and the big man position is starting to get more elite. So do you think this is more just a phase of what the game is right now in the NFL, that running backs are not a high priority as they used to?
I think,
and that it may eventually come back to that in just some type of time frame, but just not right now. They're just not that it guy no more.
I think, history does repeat itself oftentimes, but oftentimes it may have a twin, it may have a close resemblance. The big man has come back, but it's come back in a slightly different form, to where you have the Victor Wembanyama of the world that can, shoot outside and do the inside game. LeBron James, he's 6'8", and he can play like a point guard. So yeah, you have the big man coming back, but it's in a different style. In football, I think the running back can come back, but in a different style, meaning running backs, and you can kind of see it now, running backs that are more dual threat, that can run well, but they also can be a threat in the passing game. Marshall Faulk, when he was playing, was an anomaly. Now you've got people, you got running backs that have to do that in the style of offense. So I think they may come back, but in a different in a different iteration.
Okay. And as you see, we do have a comment. You probably saw her earlier, but I'm gonna show this one first. Shouts out to another faithful follower, Day One, former panelist from Ladies Night. She can always come back whenever she is available. Annie Greer. She says, I hope you're gonna talk about her former team, the Slam, the St. Louis women's professional football team, St. Louis Slam, playing for their 5th national championship this Saturday. And I'm glad that you brought it up. Annie, I'm not sure if you saw the show earlier, but I've been showing love to the ladies of the WNBA. And I have been seeing highlights actually when Sadal, myself, and the wifey went to the home opener at the Battle House game. We saw a few of the Slam ladies, and they were holding it down during the pregame and everything. They were having a great time, and they have been demolishing teams this season. I mean, it's like, why did y'all even show up to come to the game knowing that you had no chance of winning? It's like they were Alabama versus a high school team.
Like a like that's team, how like look at the schedule of like, all right, let's see who we got. Okay, St. Louis, that's an L, but all right, what are these other teams?
Yeah, so shouts out to once again the St. Louis women professional football team, the St. Louis Slam. They continue to do amazing things, and I still would love to get someone from their program to be on the show, whether it's on Ladies Night or it's a regular show. Love to get a representative to be on the show so we can talk about them. Same thing with the St. Louis Surge, the women's professional basketball team, the team that former Miss Missouri, Michaela McGee, who is now, if you don't know, she is now engaged. So congrats to her. She was proposed to a couple days ago, so she's engaged. But definitely want to get someone from the St. Louis Surge basketball team that we can go ahead and interview for this wonderful show as well. But yeah, man, I just feel like personally, as I said, Sadal, it's just one of the phases where right now running back isn't a priority. You could probably sign 1 or 2 guys, pay them both combined $10 million and get production, except if you're trying to pay for one main back as an everyday back and pay him $20 million a season. That's just how it's looking right now.
I think it's coming. Like I said, they may come back, but in a different iteration. I think you're going to see more of those dual threat running backs, and then the college ranks is going to develop them because the pro level offenses are now trying to mirror college level offenses a lot more. And so now you're going to see those players that can do both in college as at the running back position come into the league, and sooner or later you're going to have one of those once in a generation type of running back that's going to come up and is going to tear the league up, and then everybody's going to try to do what they're doing. So
Sadar,
but as far as Earl Campbell or Derrick Henry type of running back where you use a bowling ball down the field, you ain't gonna see that.
Right. And going back to the St. Louis CDSC, congrats to them. They had a great start, then they had a rocky little stretch, but going to the All-Star break, and now they off for the next 2-3 weeks because they're having this big break and everything, Joe. But St. Louis CDSC is the top of the Western Conference right now. No one saw this coming. No one. But they are doing an excellent job right now. Even with your main guy, Klaus, being out right now. I think he's on the mend, coming back very soon. He's like me. He's on the road to recovery.
He's been out for a while, man.
Right, but they're playing great. They found their niche again. They're able. They know how to adjust, and they're on top of the Western Conference right now as they head to the All-Star break. I believe they have what, 2 All-Stars in the MLS All-Star game.
Yeah, Berkey and Parker. They're both in the All-Star
Yeah.
game, which is really cool. Berkey deserves. I mean, so does Parker, but like Berkey, I feel like, Bunny says it every time we talk about City SC is he was paid the big bucks, and it's a reason, and it's showing on the field almost every single week that they play. So he's definitely been really fun to watch.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get down to another game myself.
And it hasn't been made official yet, but word is that XFL 2024 championship is going to be in St. Louis.
Yeah, I looked into those rumors when it first dropped, and they showed like the 6 games there. I believe that every team is doing that, and that they're accounting for a playoff game just in case. So, and now if you've seen 7 games on the St. Louis schedule, then yeah. But I think every team has that 6 game just to account just in case if that team goes to the playoffs. So
based on everything, St. Louis would make the most sense out of all the places.
Oh yeah, I agree on that. But we'll see. I think it's going to be St. Louis as well, though. But I don't think it's officially come out.
Look at baby Bova. What's up, baby Bova? Trying to wave with her wine. Wave, hey. What up, family? What's going on? It's a family affair.
Show B your leg.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Let me see.
Looking like a robot.
Yeah. Gotta keep it straight. Can't bend it for a while. Doctor's orders, but getting better, man. Getting better.
Just going that.
But yeah, so once again, this is your Wednesday night sports delight, the platform sports talk show. It feels so great to be back. I am your boy Smooth. Right below me, we have
Sadal, the investor.
Hey, real estate DJ. And right over here to my right on the screen, we have
T-Bone.
How to say, is he there? And then right below T-Bone, we have
Joe, the
Uh-oh.
I don't know. I'm trying to freestyle here. I don't know, guys. I'm the mama of a baby and some doggies and the baseball expert. Boom.
Man,
Joe knows. Joe knows.
Yeah, we gotta
like
send
that
her
one.
some old. You gotta send her some old Beastie Boys album so she can come up with some stuff.
I like
Marky
Joe
Mark.
Knows, man. I personally I like Joe Knows. It brings me back to my
The
childhood
segment we had.
with Jackson.
That should be her. That should be the first official platform merchandise. The Joe Knows shirt.
Right.
Joe knows.
Uh-oh. I gotta go ahead and put it in motion. I gotta go ahead and put it in motion.
Yeah.
When I get healthy, I got you. So dog, do you have to go ahead and leave right now, bro?
Let's stay a couple more minutes.
You want to
Okay.
talk some Cardinals baseball with us. I mean, more than a couple minutes, but
I do because I have some thoughts.
all right.
I'm glad
Okay.
you're on the show,
Well-
Joe. Maybe you can back me up this time. Last time I got obliterated.
What?
Now, people, I want to go ahead and say it now. During the pre-show, Joe showed us her Bible of topics in regards to the Cardinals.
She had a scroll. She had it printed out on a scroll. She
Got this ancient scrolls.
So we're gonna let her lead the way, and then we're gonna have questions behind that, and we'll get into further discussions. But this team right now has won 5 in a row, and I do want to put this up on the screen. I thought I had it. Oh, wait a minute, where'd it go? Let me get this real quick. I gotta add this on the screen and just see where everyone's mindset is. Let me put this up real quick. It won't take real long. Let's see. Let's do that and do that because I want to get y'all thoughts in regards to how you're feeling right now with this recent stretch of games from the Cardinals. How do y'all feel? And here we go. Okay. Are you currently, and for those watching right now, let us know. Do you have your hopes up? Are you starting to believe again? Or do you plan on getting disappointed with this St. Louis Cardinals team as of right now? Jobo, go ahead and go first.
I don't even know if any of those options are really where I'm at. I'll just say we had a May where we started to win some ball games and then it went downhill again. I don't want to say I'm starting to believe again because like I don't this is here. I don't want them to make me start believing again because then I think the front office is going to change the way they're thinking at this very second. And I think they need to continue thinking how they're thinking right now. If that makes any sense whatsoever.
Sadal, what about yourself?
I don't know, man. I don't know if y'all remember this old Public Enemy song. Can't trust it. Can't trust it, man. It's almost like Cardinal baseball this season it mirrors the St. Louis weather. If you think they're doing good, stick around. It'll change.
Oh boy.
Man. T-Bone.
I'm going to go with get disappointed, and that's purely off of the fact that we went there on the 14th to the game, got to go down on the field, parade around, the little one, the YMCA and all those organizations that were out there, and then got in two innings, and then all of a sudden the storm came, and it was just terrible. The rain just kept going and kept going. And I was disappointed. But as far as the season's hopes and dreams, still disappointed. I'm just going to be disappointed because I don't see it. I don't see it turning around enough to make a difference. Like not being disappointed with being like, okay, we're over 500, but let's see.
And I'm going to be on the disappointed because I feel like they may make an incredible run, but then when it gets down to September, beginning October, someone's going to get cold at the wrong time, like last year. And because we started off so slow, that we're going to be disappointed again. So that's my thought. But Sadal, we do have someone here, and I think you saw the comment to stay on. And I have the honor of bringing back someone who has been a favorite of the Platform Sports Talk show for so long, and she has been part of the incredible Ladies Night panel. I said this is a super show. It's been a while since we've all been on, and reached out to her not too long ago. She said, give me 15 minutes so I can be ready. And ladies and gentlemen, she's ready. Sadal, T-Bone, Jobo, I bring to y'all back to the show. Annie, what's going on with you?
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Miss Annie Greer.
Man, doing good. Great to see you. Annie Greer is in the building. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How's everybody?
Man, life has been lifing over here.
Did you tear an ACL trying to bull rush an offensive lineman? That's how I tore mine.
So, all right. So here we go. I was on the court. It was me. It was Brian. It was Steph.
Say less. You're over 40 and you were on a court. No more details.
I was out there doing my thing and went up for a dunk, and my left knee said, "Remember how old you are? Oh, you don't, huh?" Snap. And now I'm here. So had surgery last Wednesday. They said recovery time is like 6 to 9 months. I got my post-op appointment tomorrow, so we'll see how things are. But this is it right now. But I'm still blessed and glad to have everyone back on the show, and including yourself, man. And what's been going on in your world? I know you've been changing lives out there in Florida doing your thing. What's been going on with you?
Trying to, changing the world, teaching the youth, teaching our future generation of social workers, just doing all the things, trying to live my best Florida life, which mostly means staying in the house. Like there's no reason to be outside in Florida. It's too hot.
Nope.
Like, why would you do that? So it's living my best air-conditioned life and keeping up with my favorite sports teams, including the Pirates, which we've had a little slump since the last time I was on the show, but that's okay because we're on our way back, rising to the top, and we're still going to win the pennant this year. So the setback is a setup for a comeback. So we're about
I
to
see
do
you're
it.
still delusional as usual.
No, I'm just, we're just playing the long game. It's a long season. We're in the doldrums of summer, So I don't know if you knew this, but like the wildfires from Canada and the smog and stuff made its way to Pittsburgh.
Oh, their tour stop was here a few weeks ago.
Right. So they probably couldn't see for half their home games recently and probably weren't affected by like the smoke. We're thinking about some like mesothelioma claims or something for the team. So once we get all that sorted out.
So you're saying smoke inhalation.
Right. It was smoke inhalation. It was summer,
the Pittsburgh Pirates versus Canada.
It was global warming. Like there's just a lot going on. But look, the setback is just a setup for the comeback. So we're ready.
And then we got to talk about your Tar Heels because they lost a very important player in the transfer portal. It's a kid from St. Louis who was going to Michigan, and now he's going to Arizona. What were your thoughts on him leaving North Carolina? Caleb Love.
Good riddance.
On to the next one.
Right, next man up. So we've got some talent coming in this year. We didn't do too bad ourselves in the transfer portal. NIL is really changing everything, and I think every single college basketball team is going to have to ask themselves not only what is their ability to recruit year to year, but also what is their ability to be active in the transfer portal and to attract people who are seeking NIL deals. So I think the only longevity that you'll see on most college teams are those players who are like college basketball superstars, but don't make sense in the NBA. So like Armando Bacot, he needs to figure out what graduate degrees he can take, how long he can stretch out his eligibility, because he's a great college player. He makes $500,000 a year at NIL deals. He'll never make that in the NBA. He's not talented enough. So I think those are the only players who are going to stay. Otherwise, it's going to be a carousel. And if this most recent NBA draft is any indication, then NBA talent scouts are now confident in the other pathways to the NBA other than just the NCAA. With the top players coming from European leagues, from G League Unite, from Ignite, from all the other pro and semi-pro leagues that like the NCAA is not the only ticket there. So just saying, oh, I went to Duke or I studied under the tutelage of Calipari or Krzyzewski or, all the great coaches at Carolina is no longer like an automatic stamp to a first round draft pick. So college students are going to be forced to go where the money goes. And I feel like Caleb made a business decision and I wish him all the best. But now he's my enemy. So
that's it. That's a wrap. And I know you had some opinions about the conversation Sadal and T-Bone had about the running back in football. What are your thoughts in regards to that?
Yeah, so until the CBA changes that either eliminates the rookie scale for the running back position altogether or reclassifies positions in the CBA as positionless, then there's not going to be not only just a value on running backs, but like if I were a kid right now, I wouldn't even try to play running back. Like, I don't think Lamar Jackson is the right comp because Lamar Jackson has proven to be a competent passer. But you would make more money being a kid who mostly runs and can throw a little bit and being classified as a quarterback than you would just being an exceptional runner at this point until those reclassifications in the CBA are done. Like we saw a couple years ago with Jimmy Graham, Gronkowski, and the other like top end tight ends wanting to be reclassified as pass catchers and not tight ends because then it raised the floor for the salary cap by position since the wide receivers had a higher cap than tight ends. So you have you have running backs in the league currently, many of them the ones that currently don't have long-term deals. Tony Pollard with Dallas, Saquon Barkley with the Giants. You have some who are currently under contract, like CMC with the 49ers, but when his contract comes up, who are just as valuable as receivers as they are runners. And so until they can get that classification as maybe a wide receiver, if they have a certain amount of pass yards or line up in the slot for a certain number of line up in the slot for a certain number of snaps, then there's not only not a value to teams for running backs, but we're not going to see people even play the running back. We're not going to see our best athletes playing the running back position in college or even in Little League and coming up because you'd be better off learning how to throw a little bit and classifying yourself as a mobile quarterback than playing pure running back until the classification changes in the CBA where they can get paid respective to their value, which is definitely more than running.
That makes sense.
That was T-Bone. See it all?
I never seen it that way. Never seen it that way. It's interesting. But I agree. But it's almost like what came first, the chicken or the egg in this situation? Are they not playing running back because of the CBA, or is the CBA not geared towards running back because they're not running the ball? As you know, what came first? You know,
the CBA is stubborn about recognizing what is actually the value, right? So it was long after Gronkowski was the leading receiver, huh?
I said I forgot all about the tight end thing that you talked about. I remember when that happened.
Yeah, so it was long after he was the number one receiver for New England that actually changed in the CBA. And like Jimmy Graham changed teams to a team that was going to pay him like receiver money, right? Which is how he ended up switching teams. And so it's about the CBA lagging behind what is actually true or what is actually happening. So until they feel the brunt of people no longer wanting to do the position, running back sitting out en masse, to have 3 running backs currently planning not to show up to camp, not getting long-term deals, and them being, running backs that finished like in the top 10 in all production categories that matter, including receiving for their team, then I think teams are going to think a little bit differently. They're probably going to have to figure out some incentives in the individual contracts until the CBA does it for contracts league-wide. But I also agree with the discussion that was had earlier that, like, similar to basketball, the sport becomes cyclical. Defenses will adjust to the stretching of the field, to your quarterback being your primary rusher. Defenses will figure that out. And then the team that has the Derrick Henry workhorse type running back will be the teams that succeed. And then teams will have to adjust to that again. And so same thing happened, having a big man, not just tall man, but big man in the NBA was a premium. Once the outside shot got more prolific, people were shooting it at a higher clip. People from all 5 positions were shooting it with efficiency. Then that position kind of went away. And then you had some big men who also solved that problem. So now you have big men who can pull up from outside. And when they go in the paint, beat you up if all you have is tall man, or if you have somebody who historically would have been like a 4. And so now they'll adjust back. So I think the same thing will happen with the running back. Once the field gets stretched to a certain point where there's nothing else that you can do on the margins or beyond 10 yards, defenses are shutting that down. People are linebackers are being trained, secondaries are being trained to shut all that down. Then the team that can run between the pads will end up winning. And then people will be like, oh yeah, forgot about that position. Let's do that again.
And Joe, in baseball, I think we can relate this to how the shift or the lack thereof has now brought back left-handed power hitters who wasn't all about hitting for average, because now they can hit the ball and they can hit them where they ain't no more because of how the rules have changed in baseball.
Yeah, I mean, you're seeing left-handed hitters have a higher average now than they did in the last, I'll say, about 5 years or so. It ain't working for Kyle Schwarber. He's not even batting a 200 yet, but he's still hitting homers. So it doesn't matter for him. But yeah, you can definitely tell. They're like Joey Gallo's a perfect example. He's having a pretty good year for the Minnesota Twins, and he was one of the guys that was just killed constantly with the shift. So yeah, he's like the prime example right there.
You know, I was a left-handed batter. I couldn't hit for power. I couldn't hit for average. I couldn't hit.
Just couldn't hit. Just couldn't get the job done, huh?
But you were a left-handed batter, and that's what's important in that story.
Yeah.
Don't let that be lost. Joe, you would be proud of me. I watched a baseball clip. So I didn't watch a baseball game because I never do, but I did watch a baseball clip. And I think, so you can tell me if I'm wrong, because again, I don't know. So I know what Shohei Ohtani is doing, right? Like that, I understand it's amazing. It still has not compelled me to watch baseball. But every time I see a clip of Ellie De La Cruz and like him stealing 3 bases on 2 pitches, like I was like, that was amazing.
You must be,
I love it.
You must be snoring right now because the dude's in like a 0-4 stint with like 20 Ks. Another 0-4 tonight. He hasn't been that great as of late. He was hot for like a second, but same thing with the Reds. They won their first game in like 10 days. So, but people like him, O'Neal Cruz with the Pirates. They just brought up, it's hard for me to say, the Encarnacion Strand. The Reds just brought up another top prospect. People like that. They're just fun to watch in the game. They're fast. They turn, double plays real quick, and it's good for the game to see that. It's refreshing.
I want to see the Ricky Henderson type of like base stealing. Like, I am about to steal this base, and there ain't nothing you can do about it.
You got that in Oakland with Esteury Perez, I think his name is. I think he's hurt right now, but he's on the pace for he was on pace for like 80. Ronald Acuna, he's doing it with the homers, the doubles, and the swipe bags. He's probably going to hit 40, 45 homers and swipe 50 bags. That's what's different now with the no shift. The pitchers can't, do as many pickoff moves, and with the pitch clock. It's all part of the game to try to make it a little more entertaining and to see that type of stuff again.
To me, if we had an in-season stolen bases race, that would be just as exciting as the home run race between who's the guy who lightened himself and the big arm one.
Sammy Sosa.
Oh,
yeah, Sammy Sosa. McGuire. Yeah.
I was like, what are you saying right now?
I just get what she was saying. Oh, okay.
You knew who I was talking about when I said
once they said it, then I was like, oh, okay.
Right.
I mean, that's fun too, though. Like last year with Judge's home run race, it wasn't really a race, but watching Judge do his thing, and then everyone else in the world was also watching Albert try to reach 700 home runs. That was fun. That was exciting. I think I do think it's gonna be something like that this year with the swipe bags, the stolen bases, because that's exciting. Stolen bases. Judge is hurt now, but Ohtani, he might break Judge's. It's no longer Maris's, Maris and Mantle. Now it's Judge's record, and Shohei might do that this year. He was walked 4 times tonight by the Yankees, so they don't want him to do it. But I mean, he's already got 35 or 36 homers. So I mean, and shoot, if he gets traded to a team that has a really good, left porch like the Yankees, or just a hitter's park in general, then look out, he might do it.
Joe, you may have already talked about this, but do you want to see him get traded to a big market team, Otani? You think that would be better for baseball for him to go to a bigger market team?
Great question.
I don't know. I'm like stuck in the middle with this one, because like right now the Angels have so many injuries. Trout's out right now, Rendon's out. Just they have a lot of big names on the injured list. But it would be good for baseball if the Angels finally made the playoffs and did something with those guys on the team. But even if they win today, they'll just now be like a game or two over 500. So I think it'd be good for baseball to see him on a contending team, like like the Dodgers. The Dodgers have like 10 or 15 like top 100 prospects. The Reds have a very good farm system. The Orioles, that's the one I want to see, is the Orioles, is because they got a really good farm system. They're playing great baseball ever since Adley Rutschman got called up last year. They have not been swept once since he's been up in the big leagues. They're fun, young, exciting. Baltimore's a great city whenever they're playing good baseball, and I think that'd be something like that, like that would be awesome for baseball if he was traded to somewhere like Baltimore. But you got these people, do you want to give up 5 or 6 prospects for him to go to the free agent market and get paid $600-700 million the next year? Because the Orioles aren't going to do that. But I do think it'd be great for baseball if he got traded to maybe not just a big market team, but even just one of these teams that haven't been in the playoffs in a long time, and they're going to this year. That would be like, double excitement for the league.
Like the Pirates.
And the Angels, right? Yeah, right. Well, I will say this: the Angels just said today that they want a Juan Soto type deal if you want to get Shohei. So that means that you have to give them like
Orioles
like 3 or 4, right? Like 3 or 4 or 5 of your top prospects in order to get Shohei. So I'm not
like
sure.
A Herschel Walker type deal.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if your Pirates have enough top prospects to get Otani.
Not the Pirates, but I will say
all of our Pirates are top prospects. So there's that.
There's one more thing I'll say about Otani, because I did have Otani on my list of things to talk about, is the Angels would be stupid not to trade him, I think. I mean, you got to think, you got the Rangers and the Astros ahead of them. And then just in the wild card in general, you have like all of the AL East ahead of them. And then whoever's going to win the Central, whether it's the Twins or the Guardians, those are like the 2 main ones. The Tigers are still kind of floating around. I just don't see them passing up that many people, that many teams in the AL to even make a wild card team. So why not? And I think they have a 0% chance to re-sign him. I don't think he wants to go back to LA or to Anaheim because he hasn't won anything there. Trout's only seen 3 games in the playoffs since he's been there. I think he's going to be a Dodger next year. So why not just try to get as many prospects as possible right now to make your team better for the future? And then that's that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think they'd be losing out if they didn't trade him.
Was the worst thing that happened for us trying to get Otani been the whole Wilson Contreras fiasco this season, Joe?
I'm so over the Wilson. That's another thing I had written on my list. You know what we heard for the last, I'll say 4 to 5 years, is Ivan Herrera is going to be the next Yadi Molina. We've heard that for so long. And then Kisner, everyone's saying he's the captain of this team, even though he's just a backup catcher. And don't get me wrong, I was super excited when we signed Wilson Contreras. It's always exciting when you sign someone, especially with as big of a name as Wilson Contreras. But man, I don't I don't even know what to say about it anymore. I think the dude's gonna get traded before his contract's up. And this whole entire year has been blamed on Wilson Contreras for the most part, for whatever reason. He's still having a good year. He's caught a great game for Montgomery the other night. It's just I don't even know what to say about it anymore. But I feel like the Cardinals just rushed it, and that's what I'm saying. Like we could have had a year this year of Herrera and Kisner starter backup and spent that $85.5 million on a starting pitcher like Nathan Eovaldi, who's lights out for the Rangers right now. So
Yeah,
I don't.
this whole season has been a huge mistake by the organization. And here's proof, because this is something that I said before the season started in regards to how they value the upcoming season. I'm going to read a piece from Katie Wu from
The
the
Athletic.
Athletic. One area the Cardinals are changing is their evaluation of pitching talent. Now, mind you, their big thing over the last couple of years, Sadal, has been getting pitchers that can not really worry about striking out, but that can pitch the contact, because we had a great defense behind them. But now, because of these rule changes that Mozeliak said before the season, oh, well, with the rule changes, I don't think that it's going to really affect our team and how we play the game. I
He
think
said
we're
we'll
going to
wait
be
and
just
see.
fine.
We'll wait and
Right,
see
right,
how
right,
it works.
right. So, in prior seasons, the front office targeted pitch to contact type of arms with arsenals that included weak contact. That type of pitcher typically played as a strength to the organization based on the team's usually clean defense and effective defensive positioning. Yet, with the introduction of MLB's shift banning rules this season, the Cardinals have been limited in where they can place their defenders, and as a result, their defense has been far from its usual standard. Mozeliak indicated he and his staff will now target to look at pitchers with higher whiff rates. This is what Mozeliak says. How we evaluate pitchers is something that we are taking a hard look at upstairs. More swing and misses versus ground ball type will definitely be baked into future thinking. This is what I've been talking about, Sadal, for the last 3 or 4 years, is how the organization and their mindset is stuck on whatever they did back in 2011. They have not changed the times. And I knew as soon as this shift came or lack thereof came into the league, that this team was not going to take the league changes seriously, and look at how it's killing this team, especially with the pitching, because you have too many guys that, like for instance, you was hoping that Wayno and Joe, I know you love Wayno. We know he's been the heart and soul for years, but we know he's not a strike and a whiff guy like he used to be. Michaelis, he's not really a whiff guy. Matt, he's not really a whiff guy. They got those guys. They got those guys based off of, hit the ball weekly, and then we can have Arenado and Goldie and whoever else to gobble the ball up. But once this shift came, they had an opportunity in the offseason. They had the opportunities to get guys who can strike people out, and it has burned them. And now they're looking like, oh, well, now we got to look at things differently because pitching is hurting our team. That is what's hurting this organization this whole year. And while we just got to fourth place as of last night or today, this has been all on the organization because of how far behind they are.
So I have a question. Is that because they knew that the changes were coming, were going to be implemented this season, all the changes that seemed to materially work against the way that they had constructed the roster? So was it stubbornness? Was it disbelief that the changes were going to come? Was it a belief that their players were versatile enough to still succeed with the rule changes? What do you think has led to creating an old roster for a new system? I'll call on Joe first. Joe?
I think arrogant assholes who think they're better than everyone else in the league, and that is 100% the only. I literally wrote down Mo/front office realizing they are losers and way behind the times. Everyone knows that you need. Did you not watch the World Series last year or the past couple years? Striking out batters is what wins you games. Having a 1 and a 2 dominant starter in your rotation is what wins you championships. You're not going to win anything with ground balls constantly, and that not even to mention that we went into the year saying that Tommy Edman was going to be your starting shortstop. I can't even remember the last time he played shortstop. Then you were like, okay, we'll have Donovan and Gorman, back and forth at second. Now Donovan, I don't know what he's hitting the cover off the ball, but he hasn't even played the field in 3 weeks. It's just I just think they're arrogant, and they do think they're better than everyone else in the game. It's like I've been seeing it, but it's been even more eye-opening this year with how they've handled press, their interviews, everything. It's just been so mind-boggling. And it's like, why have I not seen it as clear as I'm seeing it now? But it's been an awful year. That's why I'm like, I don't want them to go on a magical run here in the next week or two and then be like, oh, we're buyers, and not sell off these players that aren't even going to be here next year and think they're going to do some, magical Cardinal run like they did in 2011. Like, I don't want that to happen.
And Sadal, before you go, I have a rebuttal from Moselock, Joe. We're not so stubborn or arrogant to say, no, we're just going to keep doing our system and hope for a better outcome. We understand that there has been a shift, and we'll just try to adjust to it.
I love this impression.
Fred's Mo impression is perfect. I love it.
Sadal, you up?
Joe, I can't agree more with you, but I will use a different word to describe this: dumb-assedness, dumbassery, if you will, is what I would describe this as. It's laughable. What was that, Annie?
Dumbassalicious.
Very well. Very good. Very good. Very good. That's what I would describe this as. And dimwit, I mean DeWitt. I'm sorry.
Ooh.
Freudian slip there. He's not even worried about any shift or anything. All he's focused on is ticket sales and t-shirt
sales.
Yeah,
they're interested in t-shirt sales at all.
Yeah, t-shirts. Yeah,
t-shirt sales.
Yep. Yep. They're selling out
t-shirts.
Selling out t-shirts.
We've barely even heard from DeWitt this year.
DeWitt, and hey, dimwit.
I wonder why.
Always going to worry about ticket sales.
I have a question for you. Is it their fault that the fans who seem to not really like the teams still seem to buy the merchandise?
Hey, that's what he's looking at, man.
Do you not like fans
selling tickets?
Do you not like fans like that just continue to wear the merchandise when they're so frustrated with the team?
I know, man.
Don't
you hate that, T-Bone?
Those people are something else.
I know, man.
Look at them.
Something else, man.
Look at them.
Something else, man.
Fred, you just now noticing what's going on.
All right, I'm like, wait a minute. Duh.
You're frustrated because you care, Sadal.
I care.
You're frustrated because you care.
But I've been saying this, and I was looked at as like just a Debbie Downer when I said fire Mo a couple years ago.
No, you said
Sadal, they're going to the playoffs. You just Debbie Downer, fire Mo. Ha ha. Now look.
We're stuck with him for 2 more years because he signed an extension during spring training, and per Mo, none of this is any of the coaching staff's problem either. Which I still think It's a bigger issue than just roster construction. I do think part of it is the coaching staff, but the main part is, I believe, the construction that Mo and DeWitt and I guess Gersh. I still don't even know what Gersh does, but
Kiss ass.
he's just a name. Honestly, he barely ever showed like. He's a fall man actually, because you'll see him more than you see Mo. You've seen Mo here the last couple of weeks, but I don't know. It's just been a eye-opening rough season, and I don't want them to win. That's how bad it is. I don't want them to win because I think they're going to change their mind of what they want to do during the trade deadline and the off season if they start winning. So I don't want it to happen.
I think the front office is always, even up to the ownership, has always ran on confirmation bias. Hey, Cardinals made the playoffs. We don't need any improvements to be made.
Man,
but you were one and done for the past how many years? Hey,
we have not won
games,
an NLCS game since 2015.
2014, I think, but still.
No, 14.
That's the year me and Brody got married.
And then all you hear from Mozeliak, patience. We've had patience for over 8 years now. Like, come on, where's the urgency? Forget the patience. We want urgency. That's what's lacking with the organization. And something else that needs to be addressed more is the matriculation from guys being studs and hitting the ball hard, being productive in minor league, but then you get to the major leagues and you lose it. Something is not right with the developmental process from AAA to the major leagues. That needs to be addressed because something is going on wrong from you hitting balls out the park. Not saying, because you got major league pitchers in the minor leagues. So it's not like everyone doesn't know how to pitch. You know what I'm saying? You got to have some type of skill to still be in the minor leagues.
Hey,
but like,
Smoooth.
how does this production stop from what you were doing in AAA, and all of a sudden you're lost at the plate in the major leagues?
Smoooth. Could it be, dare I say, coaching?
Though I will say about
Am I out of line?
No, but the hitters that have come up through AAA have definitely shown what they could do in the majors. The pitching has not, and that's where it's at right there. Is like, I think I heard on the radio today, and I kind of agree, is like the last pitcher that's come through and has had more than just one good half of a season through our system was probably Carlos Martinez. And I know that did not end well, but he was pretty dominant there for us for a bit. And that was the last pitcher that I could think of, maybe Michael Waka. Pitching,
right?
And we don't have a big pitcher in the minors right now. Like there's Tink Hence, that he's a possibility, but he's still a couple years away. McGreevy, you might see him next year, but he's not a 1-2, and that's the issue with this team that's been there for a couple of years now, is we don't have a 1-2. 2 years ago, Wayno was our one.
Right, that's so correct, because think how many years ago you heard about Dakota Hudson and how the organization was so hyped up about him going to the league, and now it's like, oh, here goes Hudson. He's gonna probably give up 8 runs in the first 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, man. But
I will say,
the development process from the minor leagues to the major leagues is a huge issue with this organization.
I think we got spoiled with having somebody like Dave Duncan, who's like the pitcher whisperer, in there for so many years, that can just turn around any guy that he comes across, where we just leaned on that for a long time. And now
even Mike Maddox, he's with the Rangers, and they have a great pitching staff now.
But also, they depended so much and got so spoiled because of what Yachty brought to the team. this organization is not used to not having someone like Yachty every day talking to these pitchers and other catchers and whatever and getting them prepared. That is, and they're not going to admit this. That's why they had Contreras out there on the front line taking weeks off to whatever he had to do, knowing he didn't change anything. Y'all knew what he was about when y'all brought him onto the team, but y'all didn't take into account how much y'all gave Yachty everything. Y'all let him be the coach on the field. Y'all let him be the manager on the field. Y'all let him be the voice of the pitchers. When he said something, it wasn't no, I ain't gonna do, I'm gonna do something else. They just did it. And they didn't prepare themselves for the 2023 season. That's just what I'm seeing. It's just a whole lot of unpreparedness throughout this whole season, and it has shown drastically this year.
I think a big part of it is, and I told my brother this, is there's a lot of new faces in the coaching staff this year. Like going into like a couple of weeks before spring training, Matt Halliday was going to be there, and then he's not there. You'll lose Mike Maddox, you lose Skip Schumacher. Like it was just a lot. You lose Yachty, and I'm not like, I'll say Albert, but I don't think Albert is as big as a part of this because he was gone for 10 years. Like he was just part of a feel good story last year. But Yachty, along with like 3 or 4 other coaches, and you thought you were going to have Holiday, that's a lot of different moving pieces right there, and a lot of new faces. And I don't know, that's how you explain it. They just did not prepare well enough for the 2023 season.
I have a question. So I know that Yachty retired, but he doesn't want to coach. Like he doesn't want to be the pitching coach.
He's coaching right now, isn't he?
He
minor
was
league, right?
I think he does like Puerto Rican coaching, and he was the Puerto Rican coach. We just keep saying coach manager for the WBC, but I don't know if he wants to do it right away. And if he does,
And
that's my thing. Like Mo handpicked Ali Marmol to be the manager, and he's already said none of this is the coaches and managers' fault. So Ali's the guy. Like Ali's our 3rd manager in the last 7 years. They ain't gonna, the St. Louis Cardinals are not gonna get another manager here anytime soon, I don't think.
And also, Yachty is a owner of a basketball team, I believe, in Puerto Rico too. So he has a lot of stuff going on in his home country. So I don't see him coming back right away. Maybe down the line, maybe the next 10 years, but like the next 2 or 3, I don't see it. But you never know. Money talks. So
it's crazy because I know a couple weeks ago I posted up some old tweets that Bertie Miklasz posted, actually dug up of Dimwit talking about the firing of Mike Matheny at the time.
Your boy.
Talking about
your boy.
Yeah, talking about this, we got high expectations here. Here at the St. Louis Cardinals. Now, mind you, they were 500 at the time, 3rd place. They wasn't last place, and it was in the middle of the season. It was like what, round the All-Star break when he got
they weren't
fired.
15 games under either.
Right, and he's like, "Oh, this is not what the Cardinals is about. This is high expectations here. Now, here we are, worse than where we were then. Silent.
That's why I'm saying, but Mo would look like such a jackass if they fired Ali Marmol right now, because he's already looking like
a jackass now.
No, he's like slightly admitting to some of this being his fault, slightly, but like they get rid of Schilt for philosophical differences, and then hire Ali Marmol, and they were a couple days ago 15 games under 500. Even before the All-Star break, it was like that. If they were going to fire Ali, it would have happened already. It's not going to happen.
Mike Schilt didn't.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's definitely what it is.
But I will say this, Annie. When over the first 2 months of the season, I was really excited for your Pittsburgh Pirates because, and I went to a game of theirs a while back, and they were looking very impressive. And I told Joe, I said this team could, mess around, and I ain't gonna say win the division. I'm not gonna say all that, but they could be a threat. I'm
Hey,
sorry.
I
I'm gonna
told
keep it
you
real.
one of my most improved teams before the season started was the
Pirates.
Pirates. I
Yeah,
do think
yeah,
losing O'Neal Cruz like the second week of the
that hurt.
season hurt them for
Yeah,
sure. But
yeah,
I mean, they're still already better than what they were last year, and they're still more
yeah,
exciting than they were last year. So I mean, they just had the number 1 draft pick, Skeens. He's going to be a stud pitcher for them. So I mean,
yeah. That team will be a team to definitely be reckoned with over the next couple of years, especially if they stay healthy. Keep guys like O'Neal Cruz, keep Brian Hayes on your team for years to come,
The
and
Pirates,
your
I think the
Pirates
Pirates,
can make moves.
I think the Pirates, their Achilles heel has always been their budget, man. You know, they'll get to a certain point. They got these great players, but they got to hurry up and win now because they can't keep them. They can't keep them, and it's a shame, you know.
that or they trade the wrong people. Like when they traded Tyler Glass now, that he's a stud for the Rays now, So that's always been a thing for them too. But yeah, I mean, they got young talent, they got some good prospects, and if they just spend a little extra, they'd be a little more exciting. But they were definitely more exciting this year than they have been in years past.
It's our t-shirt sales. If we just got our t-shirt sales up, then we could afford to keep our players.
Hey,
We haven't been slinging them t-shirts.
That's the Bill DeWitt way.
Look, we have been slinging them t-shirts like we were supposed to.
See,
we're having this problem right now.
See, now you're talking. Gotta sell more t-shirts and tickets, just like the Cardinals.
More t-shirts. That's the solution.
Yeah,
it is right there.
Oh man. So this has been an incredible show, man, and I appreciate y'all being on. Annie, I already talked about the St. Louis Slam, but please feel free to add some more to the success of their season and what's going on next.
They play for their 5th national championship this coming Saturday, and the game will be broadcast on ESPN2. Just ESPN2, just the second one, not even the Ocho. The very second ESPN will air a women's professional football game. And it's only for the pro division. The rest of it is the Division 2, Division 3 games will not be on ESPN, but you could just be flicking through your regular TV or Fire Stick, whatever it is you got, and come across ESPN2 on 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Central, and check out the St. Louis Slam. And this is a true like David and Goliath match. The Boston Renegades are minimum double our size, if not triple our size. They get financial support from the Kraft family and the New England Patriots. Last year, he used his private jet to fly the team to Canton to play for the championship, and the St. Louis Slam, where we got, right? And but they've been doing great this year, but this will be the toughest competition that we face probably in the history of our 14 years of existence in the league. The Boston Renegades presently, with their run of championships over the last 4 years, are regarded in the space as like probably the greatest women's football team of all time. But we're going to do what we do and control what we can control, and day by day. So please check them out, 1 p.m. Central this Saturday on ESPN2, and support the Slam. Buy the t-shirts. We sell t-shirts.
So you're telling me it's time to get some revenge, 20 plus years old revenge from St. Louis and a Boston team, huh?
Look, if that's what gets you up for the game, then use it.
Yeah, I'm going to use it. I'm going to go St. Louis, dang it.
And Sadal, if you watch the game, put it on your T-shirt.
Right.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna put it on. I'm gonna put the
Buy
t-shirt
some
on.
buy some St. Louis Slam t-shirts so we can get some more players
that's
and
the
maybe get
key.
our own private jet.
That's the key, man.
Look, we learned
two
that's the
things.
key to winning. Some t-shirts.
Two things for me, real quick. Jobo, Dylan Carlson, are the Cardinals making a mistake trying to trade him? Yes or no?
Yes. Short answer, yes.
All right, we'll say that for another time. Lastly, because this is the big show, I cannot go without giving a huge thank you to the man who is about to get ready for law school next month, and that's to T-Bone Funk. For those who don't know, next week on the Man Cave will be his last show for quite some time because he has to focus on law school. His time will be dedicated to doing things right and go on to SLU. And T-Bone, I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for you being on the show, being so committed, dedicated since day one, you being a great asset to the team. Definitely gonna miss you on the main show. Hopefully there's times where your schedule would like to come on back every now and then and say a few words or the whole nine. But for all that you have done and contributed to the show, man, thank you very much. It definitely does not go unnoticed, and we definitely hope that your law school career goes out to an amazing start, and you'll be just holding things down, man. So thank you very much.
Appreciate it, and hopefully, let's get through this first year and see, how much free time I have, because I hear the first year is the worst year, so But I've been glad to be around, and I'll still be trying to find ways to sneak in here and there. I can't let a football season go without letting Sadal know that those Rams still ain't it. All right, so I'll be around.
God.
If
There you
it's
go.
15 minutes here, 15 minutes there, yeah, I got 15 minutes to let the Rams know now. This ain't your year.
And
T-Bone, good
Andy,
luck in law school, because yeah, your debate skills with the is not going to be missed here for me.
and Andy, thank you short notice for being part of the show tonight. And you already know, anytime you are available on a Wednesday night, let me know. You're always welcome to be part of the show, whether it's ladies' night or the main show. Love to have you on, have your opinions. It's always a pleasure, and definitely don't be a stranger. Reach out to me, whatever it is, and let's get you, on these shows even more and more.
Absolutely. I heard Sadal getting sassy when I tuned in, and sassy Sadal is my favorite Sadal. So I had to get on the show.
And for everyone else, thanks for tuning in to the Platform Sports Talk Show, your Wednesday night sports delight. Hope y'all have a wonderful rest of y'all evening. We are out of here. The Man Cave goes down next Wednesday. Might have a special guest. Stay tuned. But with that being said, we out.
Those photos should have come with a trigger warning.
Your time is up, my time is now. You can't see my time is now. It's the franchise where I'm starting now. You can't see my time. In case you forgot or fell off, I'm still knocking shell off. My money stacked fast, plus I can't turn this well off. Franchise doing big business. Religious is automatic. I win this, so you get those finish. A soldier, and I stay under you. Plus I'm storming on these jumps like I'm